Shaun.
Hi.
Hey. What is going on? Hey, everybody, and welcome to Navigating Now with your girl, Jocelyn Hairston. I am so excited about today's show. Today, we will be talking about navigating your health in the new year. And I am so excited to bring to you my friend from way back when, LeChanda McGee, affectionately known as Shaun. Look, Shaun is just the quintessential woman of excellence.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you are. Let me tell you, she leaves an indelible mark of love, and she has just such a caring spirit. I mean, to really everyone who she encounters. Just I have known Shaun for years, and we'll talk about that. But um, her passion is so infectious. She has such a genuinely infectious personality that you can't help but feel better when you leave her presence than when you entered her presence. She has always had a passion for working out, and and for health and just really helping people. She just can't help it. And so in 2020, she decided to just follow her heart and decided to start her own virtual training program. She is the founder of Body Elite by Shaun, which helps to really inspire and motivate women of all ages to be in the best health that they can be. She specializes in online training, boot camps, and one-on-one personal training. And her goal is to definitely, help to just transform the lives of women. Now, I've seen her work out for men too, but we'll get to that later. But really, her focus right now is women. Now she has a very full life, and I want her to tell you a little bit about her. But we're going to have a great conversation today. I'm just looking forward to this, and I know that when you say health, I know y'all already know that that's a lot to unpack and a lot to get into, and we'll probably focus on certain things today, and hopefully I can have her back later for some further discussion. But look, let me not tarry. Let me introduce to you LeChanda McGee. Welcome, Shaun.
Hey, Jocelyn. First of
Okay,
all, I'm so excited to be here, Jocelyn. Thank you so much for even thinking of little old me to come and just have a conversation with you today. So, blessings on you. You look amazing, and I am definitely looking forward to having this conversation.
well, I thank you for saying yes. You know, we have a love fest here for saying yes to this conversation. You have such a wealth of experience, and I know that there are some things that I didn't get to in your bio. Is there anything that you want the audience to know about you before we really dive in, or do you just want it to come out as we talk?
I think let's just roll with it, and I think a lot of things will come out as we have conversation.
Okay. Well, guys, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about health is okay, is January, right? And so everybody knows that one of the main goals, maybe besides money, getting your money straight, is getting your health straight. Or I want to lose weight, or I want to start working out, and I want to do this and I want to do that related to your health and weight loss and or weight maintenance or wherever you are in your health journey. And so I wanted to have a conversation about that because I just really feel that it's important for us. And even with everything, even if you think about everything going on with COVID and just us making sure that we are the healthiest that we can be so that our bodies can do what they need to do. I wanted to have this conversation with Shaun. And I wanted to start off, Shaun, and I will tell you that one of the reasons why I wanted Shaun as a guest is because once again, we go way back. She has a long history.
Don't tell them too far, Jocelyn.
I'm not giving a year now. I ain't saying nothing about a year. But Shaun and I actually met, if you're from Atlanta, and especially if you're from the Southwest side, really anywhere in Atlanta, We actually met at the Southwest YMCA on Campbellton Road. But Shaun, just so people can have a perspective of who you are, tell us a little bit about your health, your personal health journey, and then you can go into why or you can do this either way you want to, why you decided to formally start your business, because you've been helping people for years.
Yeah. So, Jocelyn, thank you for that. We would probably be on here for a very long time, so I'll try and make this the short version. So, as you stated, we met years ago. I want to say it was the late 1980s at the YMCA. And oh my God, I still remember walking into Ron's class and taking those classes and just really being excited about working out. And I wanted to take it a step further. I wanted to learn how to lift weights, right? So I walk into the weight room one day, and yet and behold, I see this beautiful, slim chick, no stomach, very, very toned, and I'm working out. And she walks up to me and she says, "What are you doing?" Well, that young lady is also my best friend. Her name is Stephanie Richardson, aka the Fitness Queen. Stephanie also has an amazing virtual program called FitForm. And she came over and she started talking to me. She's like, "You're not really working out. Let me show you how to do this." And from there on, my life has never been the same. So I have to shout out to Stephanie for helping me to get started and just helping me with my fitness journey. She's been an amazing partner and friend. From the YMCA, I got my AFA certification. I also got my personal training certification. So I started doing my own classes, teaching aerobics, doing some personal training. I was even going over to your house. So I would come into your home and let me see your equipment. Let's get in this treadmill. And that was really, really an experience. From there, I moved over to the Run and Shoot. The Run and Shoot is also in Atlanta. Started teaching over there, doing some boot camp classes, again with Stephanie, doing some dance classes. We used to actually tag team and we talked together. So Run and Shoot was also an amazing time. They had some, as the young people say, some lit instructors. They were lit, honey. Like we were getting it in. Step aerobics, you name it. It was just a phenomenal time for me. Then I transitioned from the Run and Shoot, and I actually moved in the Stone Mountain area. During this time, Jocelyn, as you know, I had 4 incredible babies. And I won't get emotional, but a lot of people don't know this, but I really had a hard time having kids because doctors told me I would never have children. So after several losses, miscarriages, I just got really, really depressed. I'm like, will I ever have a child? And my firstborn, who is Adia, who's 20, will be 21 this year. I can't believe it. That was my first child. And then after that, they just started coming. I'm like, okay, God, I'm good. I'm good now. So after having 4 kids, I did have some, failed marriages. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I've had 2 failed marriages. Single mom trying to raise 4 kids by myself. And my children are very active. My son plays football, basketball, run track. My daughter dance. They're cheerleaders. And I was going from here to there. And working out was the last thing on my mind. So I stopped for a very long time, Jocelyn, working out because I really focused on my kids. I also work full time. I am a director at a company called Shaun. I've been there. It will be 35 years this year. Can you believe that? 35 years. So I have a very, very hectic schedule. And with trying to do everything with the kids and still working out for me was just not there. I just kept saying I don't have the time. So then I finally started saying, okay, you're starting to get a little heavy. Like you need to go ahead and start doing something. So I did go back and I started teaching at this place called Lady Fitness, and it was right on Panola Road. I did that for maybe a year or 2, and then Jocelyn, I stopped again. 2020 happened, okay, with a lot of people. COVID knocked on the door, and I got really, really lazy, working from home full time, and I gained 23 pounds. And Jocelyn, I'm 5'2", and 23 pounds with me just didn't look good. So I started saying, okay, you are really letting yourself go down. Like, are you really going to do this? Like, you've been working out since 1980, personal training people, telling people y'all need to get your mind right. And now all of a sudden, you just going to put working out to the side. Well, along with that 23 pounds came, you're pre-diabetic, you have high cholesterol. And I started saying, okay, I am no longer in my 20s and my 30s. I dare not to tell y'all my age, but you're going to have to make some decisions. So Stephanie, once again, had an online virtual training class. And I said, you know what, Stephanie, let me just join the class. Joined the class, Jocelyn, and it was, she was doing live. So I'm logging in, but I'm in the bed watching her and watching everybody work out. So every morning I would send her a text like, you're amazing. Oh my God, Stephanie, you were amazing. Good class. And I'm like, but you're still fat, Shaun. You're still fat. So weeks pass. And I'm like, aren't you going to get out of this bed? Aren't you really going to get out of this bed and do something? So when I finally made up my mind to start working out, I started seeing the results, and I started feeling that love again that I have for working out. Along with that, I also met this awesome trainer named Joseph Lopez, who is also amazing. Joseph Lopez is also another fitness trainer. And he really helped my sister, Jocelyn, on her weight loss journey. I don't know if you've seen Colette, but she looks amazing. Have you seen her? Oh my God, Colette looks amazing. So I was like, Colette, what are y'all doing? She was like, sis, I'm not trying to be fat, girl. I'm trying to be fine. I'm like, okay, I hear you. What y'all doing? So she said, why don't you think about joining this training? It was called a quarantine challenge. And the winner would win, first place winner, $500. And Jocelyn, you know me, I'm real competitive. I'm like, shoot, working out and I can win some money? Game on. So I'm doing Stephanie's class in the morning. I'm doing Joseph Lopez quarantine training, and he still has these challenges going on. And I'm working out, Jocelyn. I'm doing my meal preps, and I'm getting excited. I see this weight falling off. And then I had some friends of mine, JP. You remember JP? We did her wedding together. She's like, why don't you just go ahead and start your own class? I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I thought about it, and God spoke to me. It's like, you know what? This is something you enjoy. This is something you love. You have a passion for it. You finally got your act together, Shaun. Finally. Why don't you just give it a try? So I prayed about it. I stepped out on faith, and October 2020 is when I decided you're going to have your own online fitness training. And that's how Body by Elite by Shaun came about. So I went through a whole lot, though, Jocelyn, before that. But I really would like to thank Stephanie, thank Joseph Lopez. And, you know, I had a couple of other friends on the way. I had JP, Lamita, Keita, you know, my mom, my sisters. I call them my boo, Quincy. You know, I had a lot of people to really say to me, you can do this. Like, step out on faith. You can do this. And I'm really, really glad that I listened to them and really followed God's path for me. And I'm excited. So that's my fitness journey in a nutshell. I know that was a lot, but I went through a really trying time.
Well, you know, Shaun, first of all, thank you for being so open and transparent. And that's what I didn't say, people. One of the other reasons why I asked Shaun to be a guest is because I know that she's fun, but that she's real. Like, she's going to really keep it real with you. And even if you're watching this and you're saying, well, she just started her business. She just got back in shape last year. Well, no. Yeah. Yes and no. The thing is that she's highly knowledgeable. And I wanted someone that could relate to you. to most people. And yes, I'll probably have all different kinds of people on here talking about health and wellness, fitness and all that. But I just felt like this this month, this January, that I wanted to have someone on here who could talk to us like where we are.
Right.
And so, Shaun, you said a lot in that. And so I want to let's talk about the mindset shift that has to occur in a person, because you've been seeing clients for years, actually, decades.
Mm-hmm.
What I think we talked about this, but I think that mindset is so key. What are your thoughts on mindset related to fitness, and how does a person shift their mindset?
So what I would say to that, Jocelyn, is it has to start in your mind first. You have to really make it up in your mind that this is what you're going to do no matter what. Because I can say something to you all day long, Jocelyn. Hey, girl, yeah, I'm going to work out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to work out. But unless I really, really say, okay, self, and it starts in the mind, this is what you're going to do. And you almost have to speak to yourself. And sometimes I think what happens is we overthink it. And when we overthink it, we make up so many excuses. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I got work. Oh, I got to take the children to practice. Oh, I can't do this. But one of the things that I always tell people is anything that you really want, you can do it if you set your mind to it. So mindset is key to anything. And especially when it comes to trying to transform. You want to transform. You want to make sure that you are eating right? It starts in the mind. You want to get involved into a fitness program. It starts in the mind. So you have to shift your mind to start thinking about what is it that you really want to do and how bad do you want it. And once you do that and you make up your mind that that's what you're going to do, then you just get out there and you get it done. But it does start in the mind. And if you don't have that shift of the mind, Jocelyn, we will be here 5, 6 years from now. People will still be saying the same thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to join. I'm going to get my mind right. I'm going to do it. And instead of gaining weight, and here we are doing nothing.
Yeah. And you said a couple of things, like even the whole thing on overthinking it. What I have found that what works for even for me personally is to keep it simple.
Yeah.
And so as you are making decisions, people, about your health journey, where you want to be, because everybody doesn't have to even release weight. Everybody doesn't, that may not be your thing.
Right.
You may just want to tone, or you may just want to get your cardiovascular health in a better state. So it's not just, this is not just about weight loss, by the way.
Right.
But all of these things are important to your health. But as Shaun said, I agree, it's your mind that is the most important thing, because as a man thinketh, so is he.
Exactly.
And so how you think about yourself and how you think about your health will determine what you do about it.
And Jocelyn, you said something very key. And I even, talked to some of my class, which I love them, by the way. Shout out to my B class. But I say that, stop overthinking it. And a lot of times people go into it, whether it's I want to work on my abs, or, I want to lose weight, or I want to tone my arms. I just always tell people, set realistic goals, right? You hear people say, I want to lose 30 pounds. I need to lose 50 pounds. Lose the first 2 and then celebrate it and then keep going. But a lot of times what happens is, because we're saying, oh, I got so much weight to lose, you know what? I'm just going to forget about it. Set small goals, realistic goals. Even if you say to yourself, every day for 15 minutes, I want to just go and walk. Every day for 15 minutes, I'm going to do 25 sit-ups. Every day for 15 minutes, I want to work on my arms. I want to do some push-ups. So make realistic goals. I think sometimes we overthink these because we set the goals so high that they're so high for ourselves that we don't feel like if we can achieve them. So take baby steps. And once you see that you've met that goal, you're like, oh, come on, self, you did that. Let me keep going. So, what you said was key. It starts in the mind. And a lot of times you have to speak to yourself, and then you have to write it down to hold yourself accountable for it.
Yes, yes, that is so good. And I'm glad you said that about setting realistic goals. And even the part you just said about writing it down. And it is constant, guys. Mindset transformation is a process. And so, like Shaun said, so it helps to break down your goals into smaller goals because, like she said, you can say, oh, you may know that you need to release or lose. Sometimes you'll hear me say release,
Right.
100 pounds. But really, if you can do 5, that's like awesome. And so that feels more attainable. And because it feels more attainable,
right,
you're going to be more apt to do that. And then you can tell yourself, okay, I'm thankful, I'm grateful that I'm 5 pounds lighter. You can start to tell yourself that I'm thankful, I'm grateful that I'm 5 pounds lighter. Or it might just be, I'm thankful for my legs that I can walk 15 minutes a day. So you have to start telling yourself that. And I know that a lot of times writing things down does make it stick even more in your mind, in your body.
Accountable. And Jocelyn, like you were saying, it's not even just about, for me, it's never been about, I want to wear a size 5, I want to wear a size 6. Within my father, God bless his soul, he had diabetes. And so when I heard I was pre-diabetic, I'm like, okay, you know what, God, we're not going to start this. Like, I'm going to rebuke that right now, but you got to do something about it. You can't just accept the news and just do nothing about it. So now, Shaun, you know this, what are you going to do about it? Right. And so when you look at health overall, it's not just about being small. It's not just about having that. Because I know a lot of people that are 115 pounds, 120 pounds, that they have high blood pressure, they have diabetes, and so they're still not eating the right type of foods, right? One thing I didn't share, Jocelyn, is in October, I had COVID along with my children. So we were all over here, COVID bound. But thank God he spared our life. And I don't take that lightly because I think I was reading something the other day that it's like 400 something, 500 some thousand people have died from COVID. And one of the, what do you keep hearing? African Americans, we have a very high percentage of that, right? And so my thing is, let's change that.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that there are healthy people that haven't had, COVID that haven't passed. But what I am saying is it will help to reduce the risk of it. I didn't have a whole lot of different type of symptoms. And I really think it's because I try to exercise my heart. I try to make sure that I'm trying to be as healthy as possible and being active. And I think that a lot of times that has a lot to do with being able to fight off some of these diseases that we never know if we're going to face. So again, it's not about trying to be little or skinny, as some people would say, but it's really about looking at your entire well-being, right? How do I want to feel 5 years from now? How do I want to feel 10 years from now? I want to continue to be healthy. I want to continue to be able to walk by myself. You know what I mean? And not have a doctor tell me you can't eat this. And it has to start in the mind.
Yes.
What are you going to do to change that lifestyle?
Yeah. That's so good. And I'm even going to back up some because I didn't make this clear. This particular conversation is, I'm sure throughout the year, I will have some very specific conversations about weight loss, about this, about that. But this is really a macro conversation. So this is for you. If you do want to reduce your weight, if you do want to get your levels healthy with your doctor, all the things that you're checking, like Shaun said, your sugar levels, your blood pressure, all of that. This is for you if you just want to feel a better sense of well-being in your body. So I just want to let you all know that. And also, I do want to say, of course, any advice that is given, we want you to talk to your doctor about it first before embarking on any kind of fitness journey. So I just want to make that clear.
Yep.
But you're right. And even if weight loss is your goal, or if you want to be a certain size, that's great. But if you can think about it from just even an overall health standpoint. I think that is so important, because that will help drive you even if the scale isn't showing you what you
Right.
want to do.
Yeah. And let me just talk about that scale.
Okay.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about that scale.
Okay. Well, okay, go on. Even, but basically, you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go on, Shaun.
But I want people to understand this.
Yes.
The scale does not define whether you're healthy or not.
Come on.
And if you're trying to lose weight, the scale does not define if you're not doing a good job. I have so many clients that will come and say, I've been eating right, I've been working out, and the scale hasn't moved. But how do you feel? Do you still feel sluggish? Do you have some energy? Did you get in those jeans that maybe you can't, fit in the last couple of years? So it's not just about that number, because that number a lot of times will have people very, very discouraged. So just always know the scale is not the determining factor of how well you are doing in your journey for fitness. So I had to say that because so many people do it. I've been guilty of it too. Like, oh my gosh, the scale just went up 4 pounds. And then people are like, I'm just not going to eat. I'm going to eat one meal today and that's all. Now you're starving yourself, exactly, which is not healthy. Right. Causing your sugar to go crazy. You know what I mean? So just think about that. When you said that word, that scale, I hear about that all the time, because that's what people, they measure their success based on what the scale says, and not really how you're looking and how you're feeling.
Yes, yes. And oh my God, there's so many ways. Oh, there's so many avenues we can go. And even with what Shaun is saying, and I just want to reiterate this too. The majority of my audience are African Americans or Black people. But there are different people that watch this show. But what I want to say is you have to know your body. Okay, let me just start there. We talked about the mind, right?
Right.
But you have to know your body.
Right.
And that's first of all. So let me say, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Get a physical.
Yep.
I don't care if you go to a naturopathic doctor, a Western medicine doctor. I don't care. But you need a baseline for what works for you.
Right.
And so you need to know your body, because you need to know how your body functions on a normal basis.
Right.
And you need to be able to track that as part of the basis for your health. The second reason,
Jocelyn, I'm sorry to cut you off here, and I'm glad you said that, because I am not a certified nutritionist, right? And so I can give people a suggested meal plan, but to your point, see your doctor, because I was looking at people that were doing the keto diet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she just lost 15 pounds. She lost 20 pounds. I want to do keto. And my doctor said, no, you don't, because you already have a cholesterol issue. So like you said, everybody's body is different. Keto may work for you and it may work great, but for the next person, that might not be the best thing. So you have to know your body.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. I talk all the time.
No, that's fine. No, this is good. This is good, because this is what people need to hear, because there's so many, how many diets have there been throughout the ages, right? There's going to be 20 more this year.
Yep.
And so that's why you need to know your body. That's why if you try something and say you don't talk to your doctor, or say you do and he says it's okay, but you try it and you're like, something doesn't feel right, listen to your body.
Right.
But the other point I want to make is, I know most Black bodies are different. So they have these BMI scales, your body mass index scales. It says if you're this and you weigh this, then this is your body mass index. Black people's bodies are really different.
Yeah.
And so your BMI may be higher, but you're actually in really good shape. Once again, it's a gauge, and there's nothing wrong with having a gauge or some kind of guide.
Right.
But you need to know your body. You need your body, because the weight scale may say, oh, you're 5'6" and you should be a range of 125 to whatever. But 125, you might feel crazy at 125. You know what I'm saying? So, you may feel better at 140 or 150 or whatever. So I'm just saying it's the point that we're making is, yes, do the things that are needed for your health. But know your body. You're not going to know what's going to really work for you if you don't know your body.
And see your doctor.
See a doctor, know your body, and listen to your body.
Right.
Okay? And this is for men and women.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to your body will tell you, oh, but then you also have to speak to your body too. Just like Shaun had to speak to her body and say, get up out of this bed.
I mean, when I tell you,
in progress, there's nothing happening with you laying here watching it.
You
You
laying here watching it. And I'm going to tell everybody, let me just say this. If you are a part of any virtual online program and you're saying, hey, I'm going to stick to this, make sure that you are really being engaged. I personally don't care for doing live fitness training because I like to see my people. I like to interact with them. So for the most part, I like Zoom because then I can say to you, Jocelyn, get your knee up. Jocelyn, get your leg up. Jocelyn, you're not holding that weight right. But when I'm on live, I just told you for months, what was I doing? I was in the bed. So if you know that you are not that type of person, that you don't have that motivation, you might want to do a Zoom or speak to your mind and say, get up and let's get busy. Or have an accountability partner. Have an accountability, somebody that's going to, call you. Hey, let me see some pictures, do some videos, let me see it. Because you want to make sure that you are staying engaged and you're truly working out if you're going to do those live programs. Because there's a lot of them out here now.
You're absolutely correct. Okay, I'm gonna hold that one. I'm gonna put that in the parking lot for a second. I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay.
Come back to that. So what are the key factors that you believe, besides anything outside of the realm of like making sure your numbers are right, because we talked about that, are the things that people need to, when we look at health and fitness and wellness, what are the things that people need to have? Like, what are the pillars of those things that people need to have in place?
So, the first thing I would say, Jocelyn, because again, 90% of just making sure that you are trying to stay healthy, whether it's trying to lose weight or maintain or just stay away from the high blood pressures and stuff, is really to make healthy food choices. Really try and, if you can, try to stay away from the fried foods. Try to stay away from all of the sugars in your cheesy sauces, the stuff that tastes so good. And again, I'm not saying you can't ever have them. I'm the type of person that I believe in moderation. I also think that a lot of times when you say to yourself, you can never eat this, depending on where you are in your mind, again, sometimes you have to do that because you might be the type of person that if I do eat this one bag of potato chips, I'm not going to know how to put it down tomorrow. So you might be that type of person that has to eliminate it all. But if you're that type of person that says, you know what, I'm just going to take a piece of this fried chicken, right? And it's good, Popeyes. You can do those type of things in moderation. So I would say try to make good food choices. The second thing I would say is this: you got to get your rest. Like, you got to get your rest. I see people that are even on this fitness journey, they're working out and, they're working every day and they'll say, I only get 2 to 3 hours of sleep. Well, your body can't even try and transform if you're not getting any rest. So you got to make sure you are getting proper rest and your proper sleep. So I would say, definitely, the healthy choices, your rest and your sleep. And then last and not least, you need to exercise. And exercise doesn't necessarily mean that I got to go to a gym, right? Because a lot of times people's mindset, when you say work out, the first thing people think is I need to be in a gym. You can actually create your own gym right where you are. There's so many different things you can do. You can use a chair to do some exercises. You can take some bottled water and do some this can be your dumbbells. You can do some push-ups. So exercise, go for a walk, a 15-minute walk. If you're going to the mall, you're going to the grocery store, park far away so that you can walk. Instead of taking the elevator, take some stairs. It's all about keeping that body moving. So I would definitely say that exercise would be a pillar as well.
Okay, so that's good. So healthy food choices
Mm-hmm. Getting
and
plenty of rest.
rest
Mm-hmm.
and exercise. Um, I'm going to add one more thing to that, and that
Okay.
is, but honestly, the things that you have mentioned help with that. And I was going to say like stress management, but the things that you've actually said, doing those help with
Your
stress
mind.
management.
That's right. Yes, it does.
And so, yes. So for healthy food choices, I just want to reiterate this. I know your take is moderation. So do you provide meal plans for people, or do you just
Um,
give some overall suggestions?
so based on, once if you decide to join my program, I do give you a suggested meal plan because again, I am not a certified nutritionist. And so the meal plan is based on things that have worked for me, worked for different clients that I've had. And, some people will come back and say, this doesn't work for me. So I'll always tell them, here's what I think that will work. Usually it's maybe a protein, a veggie, maybe a sweet potato or brown rice. I try and tell them to stay away from sugar, the white rice, the white potatoes. So we'll kind of alternate. And so with mine, it's not a just protein and veggies because I believe that you still need to have a certain amount of healthy carbs as well.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that. That you need to have a balanced plate. Um, do you and then rest? And for rest, I just want to say it is sleep, but it
Sleep.
is also you need to make sure you get sleep because that's where your body heals itself. It
Yes.
replenishes itself. It so many functions happen when it cleans itself out. Like so many functions happen when we sleep.
Right.
But you also, I mean, I think there are even studies that show, and I'm sorry that I cannot cite them verbatim what the studies are, that a lot of times people may gain weight just from the fact that they're not sleeping.
That's, you know what, Jocelyn, that's key. I'm glad you said that because some people will say, I don't really eat that much. I don't eat that much. I don't know how am I gaining weight. I'm like, how much rest are you getting? How much
Yeah,
sleep are you getting?
yeah,
And you can actually gain weight. So that's a great point. Great
yeah,
point.
yeah. And it is also, I think, just learning to rest your mind too, just taking time to rest your mind even during the day.
Yeah.
Because back to that whole stress management, your body releases cortisol and it's stressed. And so so just being able to rest, whether it's look at something funny, um, talk to someone that makes you happy, even if it's
Those
something like that.
and that's what Jocelyn, when we talk about health and well-being, all of that plays a part. To your point,
Mhm.
it's mentally making sure that you are mentally healthy, right? And there are so many people that are just stressed. I mean, think of look at COVID. We got people that have lost jobs, lost parents, lost family, close friends, and people are depressed, right? And so to your point, just taking some time out to just sit down and breathe. Let everything's moving around. I just need 10 minutes to just stop for a minute and just breathe. Another thing that I would say is, some people will tell me I don't like that type of exercise. I would prefer to walk, but I would say even stretching. I have another friend named Brandy who's a part of Fit Form with Stephanie. I love doing her stretching on Friday, and it makes you feel so good just let me just stress, let me just release all of this that I have on me, and just get my mind together. You know what I mean? Because you're racing, your mind's racing 100 miles an hour. You're trying to figure out how you're going to do this. How do I pay this bill? How did I do this? What do I do? My kids are now at home. I got work going on, and I got this going on. Just take some time and just breathe. And all of that goes along with health. Nothing to do with losing weight, but it's just really keeping your mind from not getting in that depressed state, because I've been there, and that's not fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. I'm glad you brought that up, just even about stretching, because that's what I was going to ask you about the exercise. When you think about exercise, there's so many different things that you can do, but it basically is in kind of three main categories, right? It's cardiovascular,
Mhm.
fitness, strength training,
Strength
and
training, you need to stretch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions on how people should allocate their time between those things?
Um, I can only tell you, Jocelyn, again, kind of like what we talked about earlier, is everybody is different. Everybody has a different schedule. But I would at least suggest that if you can't do anything else, allow yourself at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes. And so if that 30 minutes includes 5 to 10 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of cardio, you know, that way you're getting it all, and maybe 5 to 10 minutes of some push-ups or just some basic strengthening, because as we get older, we start losing muscle mass and so many things start happening to us. And I mean, Jane, we over 50. So, oops, I told our age. At the end of the day, we have to continue to keep these things up, because those will be even more important as we get older. So it's important that you get that cardio in. Again, maybe you just want to do a brisk walk, because that's going to help you fight off those, cardio diseases that everybody keeps talking about, as strokes, heart attacks, right? The stretching is going to help you, just to make sure that you can keep your body flexible with the stretching. And then, of course, that strength training is going to help you as we get older to fight off of all of the muscle mass that we lose, believe it or not, each and every day.
Yeah, and it helps with bone density too, which if we
Mm-hmm.
have good bone density, then you're less prone to breakages and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
osteoporosis and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
that's
so,
that's a that's a big one.
yeah, so that is good. And I will tell you, and as Shaun mentioned earlier, so we just want you to move. Like, we don't care if it's dancing. You could cut on the
Oh,
you could put on your
just go.
playlist. Okay,
Move.
and
Follow.
just move. It could be that, like Shaun said, it doesn't even have to be that serious. If you don't feel comfortable going into a gym, you can make your basement your gym, or your bedroom your gym, or your
Right,
den,
right.
or your outside of your driveway, or what parking lot. I do not care. You
Yes.
can go walking, jogging, biking. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do. Our desire, though, is for you to just begin to move and finding that thing that makes you feel good. I believe that the body does respond better when you give it a variety of things to do,
Yeah.
right? And you begin to use your muscles in different ways. But the key is just to move. And like, okay, so for me, which I haven't said anything to this about this, I've since March of last year, I've released over 90 pounds.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yes. And so I'm like, Shaun, like, it,
Jocelyn.
and this is from a person who knows health too. Like, I was a fitness instructor, personal
Yes.
trainer. I'm a certified health coach, but there were just some things happening, and I have had just a life of yo-yoing.
Wow,
And
Jocelyn, that is amazing.
yeah, and I started literally the Saturday before COVID like really hit in March. So like right when we went on lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
I had just started my program and my plan. And so I knew for me, and so this is a transparent real moment. I knew for me, first of all, that I needed help,
Right.
even though I know what to do. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you can say you know what to do, but sometimes you need help. And I wrote that down when
It's the
Shaun
mind.
said,
You shift your mind. It was a mindset change,
right, it
right?
was a mindset shift. But I also know earlier Shaun said Shaun listed out her support system. You have to have a support system. I don't care what it looks like. It could be friends. And if it's not your friends, Shaun has a lot of healthy friends or friends that appreciate who she is and want to support her in her endeavors and in her health journey. So you need some support. And And you need to, there just has to be a mindset shift. And so at the time when I did it, I too had been to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yo,
like, yo, what you doing?
You need to do something,
Yeah.
And I think that was like in February. And I was like, okay, so what am I going to do? Am I going to do vegan? Am I going to do vegetarian? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Am I going to do that? And so I personally did decide to do Jenny Craig.
Okay.
And so I did Jenny because I needed help with staying focused on the known, like I needed a plan. That was my eating plan. Because for anybody that knows me, I don't love to cook, but I do cook. Because that's a part of it too. You're learning, you have to still learn because you have to maintain.
Yeah.
But my point is I did that. And because I knew that I needed something simple for me, and I knew that I wasn't going into a gym, as I said, well, I'm going to walk.
Oh, okay. So is that when because I used to see you walking like every day.
Yes. And so I decided that I was going to walk. I think even when I started out, I decided I was going to walk like 4 to 5 days a week. But it is now actually 5 to 6 days a week. And I started off small, y'all. I started off with maybe like a mile, but I'm a strong person because I was dancing, I was doing some ministry dancing. So it's not like I started from zero, but I still had to, because I was carrying so much extra weight, I still had to take my time and build up.
That extra weight, Jocelyn, how did you hide 90 pounds?
I didn't hide it. One day I'm going to show my before pictures.
Oh my
goodness. So, but the way I'm built, I do gain weight all over. So I'm proportioned weight gain and weight loss. And so I literally walked every day, and because I had a plan in place, instead of looking at food as a way to show my emotions or use, to feed my emotions.
Yeah.
It actually helped me to have a plan to say, okay, well, I know this is what I'm going to eat today. And then I'm going to walk. So walking to me saved my life, like really.
Wow.
Because there was so much stress, as I'm sure everyone may have had, so much stress with doing everything from home, helping with my parents. My father got really sick. And so we didn't know what it was initially. So I had a lot of internal things happening. And then I was going to have surgery. And I said to myself, when I go to have surgery, I don't want to weigh this amount of money. I don't want to weigh this. I need to have my body in the best health it can be for that time. And while I wasn't at my goal at the time of the surgery, I had released a lot of weight. And so that helped my surgery.
Girl, you look amazing, honey.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, give it up for Jocelyn.
Yes. So I'm telling you, I just walked. Literally, I mean, I did take a boot camp class for a couple of months, and it was great. That's my classmate at Chromium Fitness, which was awesome. But I had to stop that because it was I was working full time, trying to work on my business, trying to take care of my father. He had to go into the hospital. I mean, it was just a whole lot. And I will tell
you, the walking worked for you.
The walking worked for me. It helped my mind. Probably even, I know it helped my body, but it helped my mind as a release.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, keep it simple. If you focus on the simple things, and like Shaun said, you have to celebrate each milestone.
You have to. I had a client that she would be like, I just lost 1 pound. I'm like, Vashon, that 1 pound is 1 pound less than what you were doing. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? And she realized. So you have to celebrate that, because it's easy to get in that slump again. Like, man, let me just go on and grab this cheeseburger and large fry. I've been trying and I'm not losing no weight. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's not something that will happen overnight, and it's a lifestyle change. So as long as you continue to keep it as a lifestyle, you're going to see the results. But again, it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah. So and it is. And that's in your mind. Everything's in your mind. Starts with your mind.
It does.
And like Shaun said, it's everything happens over time.
Yeah.
And so you can think, oh, this is not happening like I wanted to happen. This is not happening like I wanted to happen. And the thing is there are 52 weeks in a year. And just think, if you decide, okay, I have this goal, whether it's a weight loss goal or you want to see your numbers go down, your blood pressure, your sugar levels, all that.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at things even 1 week at a time, even if you do have a weight loss goal, and that weight loss is, if you do 1 pound a week, that's
Yes.
50 pounds. If you
Yes.
even have that much, but or if it's a half a pound a week, that's 25 pounds. That's 26
And,
pounds.
and that's why I was saying, earlier, Jocelyn, and I know this may be hard for some people, and it's just a suggestion. It really does help when you write things down. Like, write down every day what you put in your mouth, from that piece of chewing gum to that cookie that you got to those chips. And then at the end of the week, you look back at what you've had. And if your goal is to lose 1 pound a week, 2 pounds, and you say, dang, I didn't do anything this week, you can flip that paper back and go, oh, shoot. 4 days this week, I had cookies, I had potato chips, and I only walked one time. So that paper can be your accountability, and you can either check it off and say, great day. Don't get discouraged if you messed up day one. There's still day two, and keep it going from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I also would say is, and I think Shaun mentioned something about this too, is she may not have said it like this, but be kind to yourself. Like,
Ooh.
you life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Say it again.
Life and death is in the power of the
That's
tongue.
right. That's right.
So what you say to your body, to yourself, makes a big, big difference.
It makes a huge difference. And Jocelyn, you know what I tell you? You know what I tell my B family? Be kind to yourself, because your weight is somebody else's goal.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That may sound
Mm-hmm.
funny, but you might be saying, "Oh my God, I'm 190, I'm 200." But what about that person that's 300 that's trying to get to where you are? So be kind to yourself, and love the skin that you're in, right? Be nice to who you. This is what God has blessed you with, and if you want to make some changes, then do something about it. But don't beat yourself, because somebody else wish they was in your shoes. Believe it or not, they do.
Yes. And let's think about this. When you are kind to yourself, when you're kind to yourself, your words, you're going to treat yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So,
Mm-hmm.
so if somebody's your best friend, and you say you love them,
You gotta be kind to them.
right? You're not gonna tell them you ugly,
Right.
I hate you, you fat, you worthless. You're not gonna do that to them. Someone you love. So if you love yourself, and that's probably a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. Then if you find yourself doing that, like, you can have an honest moment right where you are at your house, or are you listening to this? How do you speak to yourself? What do you tell yourself? Do you speak words of life to you? Are you echoing, maybe what someone said to you? Maybe your mother used to tell you, girl, you fat.
Right.
Girl, you need to lose weight. Girl, you need to do this. Maybe it was a boyfriend or a spouse or a girlfriend or a spouse that may have spoken things to you that you agreed with.
Right.
And you're still walking in that agreement.
That's powerful, Jocelyn.
And so I am saying it's time to cancel that contract. It becomes null and void.
Right now.
And look, in Jesus' name, cancel that contract, that agreement that you have made to those words. And even if you don't verbally say it to yourself, you may think it.
Wow. And
you're going to have to switch how you think about yourself and switch what you say to yourself. And even if you have, thick legs, because I'm a leg girl, oh, I love my strong, powerful legs. There's some powerful legs.
And Jocelyn, it's funny you said that, because when I something I didn't share is over the years, I've had to deal with anorexia and bulimia. So I've had eating disorders. And you watch so much TV, and you just think, small is in. You need to be skinny, not healthy. You need to be skinny. And so that's where I was at the time. I mean, I would take pills. I would stay in the gym for 5 to 6 hours. I would, make myself throw up. Like I'm being very transparent right now. I mean, eating disorders are real. And you have a lot of people out here that's dealing with that. They won't ever be honest with it. But if you're that type of person that, you say to yourself, I'm only going to eat one meal a day, and I'm only going to take this piece of broccoli and half of this chicken. And then I'm going to go work out for 4 hours. And then I'm going to take these laxatives or these teas for the rest of this week because I want to make sure that I use the bathroom every day. You possibly may have an eating disorder. That's not natural. That's not something that you should be doing every single day. So I just wanted to throw that out there, for the people that may be dealing with that, make sure you talk to somebody, because sometimes it could get to the point to where it gets really, really bad, and people have died from that. But then another thing that you were saying, when I gained all of my weight, I actually put this app on my phone called I Am. Because as I gained the weight, I start, for me, when you start gaining weight, it was a self-confidence thing. It's like, oh, I just didn't feel like I looked like Shaun anymore. I didn't feel good about who I had become because I felt like I let myself go down. And so if you start seeing that in you, to your point, you don't talk, you don't speak positive. You don't get up and say, oh my God, you're beautiful. You say, oh, look at my stomach. Oh my God, I'm so fat. And so you just don't feel good about you anymore, right? So when I put that app on my phone, every 30 minutes, it says, you are amazing. You are beautiful.
Wow.
You can conquer anything. And so it's like my special friend. I'm like, ooh, what do you have to say to me now? So sometimes you have to reaffirm and make sure you are reaffirming who you are.
Woo.
Because you are beautiful and wonderfully blessed how God has made you. If you want to make some changes, you can say, I'm only enhancing my beauty, but continue to speak those positive words to yourself.
That is so good. First of all, thank you for being so transparent, because I did not know that.
Yeah, I dealt with that.
And I know that there may be some of you who are, and yours may look different. You may binge. That might be your thing. You maybe just binge, and that's is it. You may not purge, but you may binge.
Right.
Whatever it is, as Shaun mentioned, please get some help and support. Their therapists, there are support groups for things like that. We just want you to be healthy. We want you to be healthy in your mind. We want you to be healthy in your body and in your spirit.
Yes.
And I love that somebody type in the comments, the I Am, it's called I Am app.
Yes.
And I love that you have to do that.
That is my best friend. And Jocelyn, you can set it to whatever time you want. It could be every 5 minutes, but when I wake up in the morning, I'll have a message on there. Today is going to be an amazing day, and you are beautiful. And I just repeat it over and over. And if you're starting to feel depressed about something, it's like, gosh, I needed to hear that.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the, I think the second show that I did for the month of January was on gratitude. Mm-hmm. And so I would also add in that, as we're talking about like speaking to your body, and I really hadn't even planned on us going this direction, but I'm so glad it is, because it's so needed, is really, even when you wake up in the morning, just saying a gratitude to your body. I'm so thankful for my body that is functioning. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can keep it simple. I'm so thankful for my legs, that I can walk.
Because think about the number of people that can't.
That's right.
It still ties into health and wellness, because it's your overall well-being, and it's not just about weight loss.
That's right. That's right. And look, and something else Shaun alluded to is look, it's okay to recognize that you may need to transform your body. I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
it's okay to recognize that. We're not saying like just don't look at yourself, that you can't say, okay, I can tone that up. You know what I'm saying?
I can work on this stomach.
I can work on this stomach,
Yeah.
But know that in the process of if you're kinder to yourself, I just believe your body will be kinder to you and will respond, that your body will respond even better to what you're doing it and giving it when you are kinder and nicer to it. And so
it helps you too with that whole self-confidence. Like you walk different.
Yeah.
You talk different. You take your selfies different. Like,
okay. I need to get with Shaun to work on my selfie. I don't know how to do a selfie. But yeah, no, that is so important. So important. Oh my gosh, this has been so good.
Yes.
It's so practical. It's such an internal, almost everything you do really is internal, right? There's an internal game you have to play or internal place that you have to be. Okay, so Shaun, let me ask you this real quick. So do you have a go-to snack? Like, what's your go-to snack?
Oh my gosh. I probably have several.
Okay.
But since we're being transparent, I like chocolate.
Okay. Because I can't fully see.
It's the nuggets, the chocolate nuggets.
Okay.
But sometimes I get in trouble because I don't just eat one. I eat several. And I know that's not a healthy snack, but if I want to do a healthy snack, I love green apples with peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's the best ever. So if I'm doing a healthy snack, I'm gonna do the apples and the peanut butter.
Yeah.
I also love smoothies. When I was doing the quarantine challenge with Joseph Lopez, he gave a lot of different smoothie recipes.
Okay.
So I love smoothies. That I will do that as a snack. And then I also love yogurt. I'll do some Greek yogurt with some granola. So I would say those are my healthy
go-to. Okay. Okay.
But Jocelyn, you remember me from back in the day. I am a potato lover. I love French fries and I love potato chips. So that's the reason why I have to make sure I'm working out.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, and that's the thing. And so here's the thing. Like we're not saying like Shaun said, no, you can never have a French fry.
Oh no.
Never have no. But just no, you have to know your body.
You got to know your body.
And if you
know how much of it you can
walk the next 5 minutes or whatever, just do what you need to do. But and try to make it fun. Like as much as you can, make it fun. Because we all know that sometimes you're going to do things that aren't fun, but you do them because it is a necessary part of life. Right. And so for many of you, it may be like, I don't ever want to have to lift a weight. I don't want to have to go to the track. It's cold outside. I don't want to walk,
Hold on, Jocelyn. I am says, you can't see it. I wish you could read it. It says, I let go of fear and replace it with love.
Yes.
That's what it just sent. Oh my God, I love it. I just get chills every time I read it.
And so as you are looking at your health journey, we just want you to definitely, I would definitely say, I think that was so appropriate. Read that again. What you just read?
It said, I let go of fear and replace it with love.
And just think about that even in relation to your health and your body, because another thing that we can sometimes do, and I'm not going to go down this road too long because it's time for us to wind this one down, that when we think something is wrong, we won't check it out or we won't see about it. Like we won't go to the doctor, we won't do the things that we need to do. But if we replace even that kind of fear, this might be a stretch. Y'all might be like, Jocelyn, you stretching it. But even loving yourself enough to see about yourself. And if I could just say one thing is love yourself enough to see about yourself, to go to your doctor, to decide to change your mindset regarding your health journey, how you eat, how you move, how you think, how you sleep. Love yourself enough to do the things that you need to do for you.
That's powerful.
And if we can do that, oh my gosh. Even when on the days that you don't want to, and it's like, but I have to do this because I have to show myself love. I have to show this beautiful creation that God made me,
right.
that He suited me in, that God suited me in. I have to show this earthly vessel,
right,
some love and care.
Oh, I love that, Jocelyn. Well said.
And even if you can't do it just for you or because or in honor, okay? So we do it because we love ourselves, but in honor to God for His creation, that we would take care of this creation, this miracle. There are people in your life who mean something to you.
And it's funny you said that. Now that people know our age, I'm over 50, and I'm a single mom with 4 teenagers. And I say all the time, I'm like, you know what? If I didn't get my health journey right, or I didn't turn this around, when they said, you know what, you got high cholesterol and you're on your way to a heart attack, I'm like, God, my kids need me. So like you were just saying, if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your parents, do it for your children, but do it for those that love and need you here.
That's so good. And I'm actually glad you brought that up. I know we're over an hour, everybody. Just give me a few more minutes, I promise. I did want to ask Shaun this because I'm so glad you said that, because I had that in my mind and even on my paper, and I did not ask this. When you started giving your health journey, you spoke about, how you went through those years, that season where you were like, I got 4 kids, I work, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. Well, guess what? You're a director at your job, so that's high responsibility. You still have 4 kids.
And now are teenagers, and it's totally different now.
Right. And so now you're ripping and running and showing and doing this and you have started a business. You have relationships with people you love. Whether it's friendships or it doesn't matter.
Right.
You are active in your church. What would you tell somebody who one of their main objections is, I don't have time? What helped you? I mean, what would you tell them?
What I would say to them is, you got to find your purpose in life, and you also have to think about your why. So come on now. So for me, my why is, it's my kids. My 4 kids. When God blessed me with my children, I asked Him, if you bless me, Lord God, I will be the best mom that I can possibly be. So they are my why. They are what keeps me going. My mom is still alive. I want to continue to be here for my mom. I still have my family. And I say to people, when they say I don't have the time, I say, don't find the time. You make the time. Jocelyn, we make time for everything else. People can tell you the latest song. They can tell you the latest trends. They can tell you the latest movies. They can tell you the latest shoes, the latest fashion. But how many people are really going to tell you, hey, you know what? I joined a virtual program and I'm taking care of my health. I'm taking care of my mind. I'm making sure that my overall well-being is taken care of. So not only I can be good for myself, but I can be better for my children. I can be better for the next person. So I don't like to hear that excuse anymore, because I say we find and we make the time to do the things that we really want to do. So if you are that person that says, I just don't have the time, how long are you going to say that? And when are you going to make the time for you? You got to make yourself a priority. You have to make yourself, not anybody else, but make yourself a priority. And again, it goes to what we talked about shifting your mindset. That's the key.
That is so good. We have to make the time.
You got to make the time.
We got to make the time. So it's all a decision. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because, life keeps happening. You know, we said, this isn't a good time. It's never going to be a good time.
It's never going to be a good time. And that's why I hear, that's the biggest barrier that I hear from so many people. Oh my God, I've been seeing your program. You guys look like you all are doing an amazing. I just don't have the time. I'm like, okay, let me know whenever you're ready. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
But you see them doing everything else. So it's just not what they want to do. That's what they really should do. This is not what I want to do. So I'm not going to make the time to do what I really need to do. Yeah. I would rather for you to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It is really about, in order to really do this, look, Shaun has kids and a dog in the background. They're okay, girl. They're fine. Is really, I forgot what I was getting ready to say, but I just, it's really all about a decision. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It's really about being self-aware. Like, you got to be honest with yourself.
You do.
This is a time to be honest with yourself.
Right.
And I do know, and I'm so glad that you said, you have to know your purpose. I'm so glad that we have to be driven by our purpose. I'm just so glad that you said that, because it makes such a huge, huge, huge difference. If you know your why, then when you don't want to,
you're going to do it regardless.
You're going to have to lean on your why.
Yes.
You got to lean on the why.
I got these 4 kids over here, Jocelyn. I got to do what I got to do.
Yes.
With the help of God.
Yes.
I have to do what I have to do, even when I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I have to keep going.
Yeah. That is so good. That is so good. So if I can even don't even know if I can do a real recap, but we have talked about, oh my God, mindset being key. That has just been like the theme throughout the whole discussion.
Right.
Mindset is the key. And so choosing new thoughts regarding your health.
Right.
Saying those thoughts, writing the thoughts down, and being accountable to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to, I love that you said support from friends. It could be friends, it could be a trainer, like LeChanda, it could be a coach, it could be a therapist if you need that.
Right.
And really looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, okay, here's what I have to do for me.
Right.
First of all, really for you, for my family, and to honor God. Talk to your doctor, about find out what your baseline numbers are. Look at your vitamin D, look at your cholesterol, look at your sugar levels, look at your blood pressure, look at all of that. So you'll know what your baseline is.
Right.
And then you can go from there. You talked about incorporating kind of the 3 major things is how you eat. And yes, we did not go extensively into that. We'll save that when we can be very specific, but really moderation, trying to eat as clean as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about rest, which I thought was so great. And make sure you get proper sleep and learning to rest your mind. And exercise are like kind of the 3 main pillars. And under that exercise, you have your cardiovascular exercise, which is your walking, your running, your jogging, your aerobics, your stretching, which is so key, and your training, which helps build that muscle for movement, bones, and all of that. You talked about how I think in really being honest with yourself, look at your behaviors, whether it tends towards more purging of things where you may be causing yourself trouble or binging, and get help in that area if you need to.
Right.
Like, get some help. Oh my God, we talked about so many. The scale, I love it that the scale does not define you.
Nope.
It's a tool, to help you track progress, but it does not tell the whole picture.
Right.
And that's why knowing your body and yourself is so important. And then when you do make your goals, you may have a long range goal, but break that goal down into manageable and what feels realistic and good for you, so that as you reach these shorter milestones, you can feel accomplished and you've accomplished something. But what you also said, which I'm so glad you said, is you have to celebrate yourself along the way.
Please do.
Now, we're not saying celebrate yourself with a Big Mac and some fries.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But celebrate.
Right.
Sorry, McDonald's.
Like
But celebrate.
I just lost 2 pounds. Like, what did you do? Girl, I went to Papa Do's. Now you just gained 3 pounds.
Right. Really knowing yourself, knowing your body, and really pray about it too. Like, ask God to help you. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Yeah. Literally. I mean, there are times when I'm working out, or even when I'm walking and I want to do something else, and I know the Holy Spirit is like, nope, I want you to do this. Like, really? I can't, but I want to do it. I don't feel like walking that hill today, but you can do it. Go on and do it. So
right.
So bring the Lord into your workout. Bring the Lord into your.
It's a great time to talk to the Lord while you're walking.
Come on.
Nobody's going to be out there to interrupt your conversation.
There you go. And when you say you don't have time, right? If you're like, I need to pray and I need to do this, well, wrap that up. Use it as your prayer time.
Use that as your quiet time.
As your quiet time, as your as your breathing time, which you said that we need to learn how to breathe too. That's a whole another thing too. That as your breathing time, like, use it as part of your self-care. So I love that too. So many things were said. Oh my gosh. I think I hit the high parts. Did I forget anything, Shaun?
No, I think you really captured
the
main things that we were trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. And look, I know I was supposed to say this earlier. If you have questions, look, just put them in the comment section. And even if we did not get to them, because it looks like we didn't get to the questions, either Shaun or I will make sure that we answer those questions for you.
Absolutely.
Okay. I've been asking all of my guests like these questions. Well, first of all, before I even do that, is there anything else you want to say that you want to add about this conversation that you think we should have hit on that we didn't?
No, I think just to sum it up, it's all about self-love, self-care, and knowing that we are the temple, right, of the Holy Spirit, and God is allowing us to be in this place for a purpose. And, whether it is going walking or jogging up and down the steps in your home, keep your bodies moving, do what you can to take care of your body, love on you, make time for you. This should be the year to step back and say, what can I do different to be a better me? And it has to start here. And once you start making the changes here, everything else is going to flow.
That was beautifully said. Okay. What is, do you have a word for this year? I've been asking each guest.
You know what, Jocelyn? I think my word is intentional.
Okay.
I think intentional, like when people say, I want to do this or I want to do this, be intentional about whatever it is that you're trying to do. If it is trying to own your own business, be intentional about writing out what that plan looks like. If it's losing weight, if it's gaining weight, be intentional about it. If it's getting out of that toxic relationship, be intentional. If it's about having a closer walk with God, be intentional. So I like that word, intentional. It just does something to me. So yeah, that's my word for 2021. Okay. Be intentional about moving COVID out the way.
There you go. Say that again.
Yeah.
Okay. And so with that, okay. So second question that I've asked everyone is, what is your hope for the year, or your hope or your goal for the year?
Pretty much what I said earlier is just to be a better me, Jocelyn, to be a better me, to not take life for granted, to enjoy this life each and every day, because tomorrow is not promised. And each and every day that God allows me to be on his wake up list, it's not because I'm so good, but it's because of his grace and mercy. So I continue to say to myself, God is giving you purpose. And this is one of the reasons why I want to be able to help women of all ages, of all sizes, to rebuild that self-esteem, to rebuild that self-confidence, to speak back that life into them. You know, a lot of times when women have had all, you know, babies, and we start saying, I still got baby fat, and your child 25. That ain't no baby fat. You know what I mean? But I want to help them. Like, you know what? Maybe you can't look like you did when you were 18, but let us work together to help you to meet whatever those goals are that you have. So just to really live my life with purpose, because I don't know when my last day is, and I want people to be able to look back and say, "Wow, Shaun tried all she could to help others."
Yeah, that's great. Tell us a little bit about Body Elite by Shaun. Okay.
Body Elite, I am so excited. Again, you know, we just started this platform like a little over 2 months ago. And so we have about 30 members that are doing the virtual training. It is a group right now of all females. Right now, I'm targeting female audience. We have a private Facebook group. So once you become a member of Body Elite, you will get an accountability partner. And that's just for somebody to say, hey, Jocelyn, I haven't seen you online in a couple of days. What's up, girl? So you will have somebody that you can always help to hold you accountable. There are exercises that I actually post. You know, it may be not in class, but I may say, hey, guys, I want you to do this exercise this week on top of our workouts. I do a suggested meal plan. We have healthy challenge competitions. Right now, they're doing a 6-week meal plan. And after that's over, I'm going to give the person an award for the person that kind of really put their all in it. And so it's just really good. You know, every class, at the end of the class, we end it with a prayer. And so my hope is that we continue to grow, we continue to reach people, but this is God's work. So from a spiritual perspective, I'm giving God all the glory and the praise and the honor for having some really divine, amazing women in this program. So yeah, look, they can go to Facebook, Body Elite by Shaun. I have a Facebook page, and I also have them on Instagram, Body Elite.
Okay, so we will put that in there. I think that is so wonderful. So Shaun has a Facebook group that any female can join. So that's the Body Elite by Shaun.
Mm-hmm.
Once you join there, then you can go and work with her further in her actual online training program.
Correct.
And there is a fee for that, correct? There's a fee for
So if you want to become a member, it is $30 a month, and that is for unlimited classes. I teach classes 4 days a week. And again, you know, you're getting the one-on-one training with me. I'm actually doing Zoom, so I can see what you're doing. You can't lay in the bed with me while we're doing Zoom. And you know, you're getting that accountability partner along with that suggested meal plan.
And if someone says, okay, the group work sounds great, but I really want some personal one-on-one training, you do that as well?
I do that as well. And those rates are different. It just kind of depends on what your goals are.
And they can set up a conversation with you for that.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll put the link to Shaun's, unless somebody wants to do that for me. But we'll put the link for Body Elite by Shaun, SHAUN, in the comment section below, so that you can follow up with her and work with her. I think it'll be fun.
Yes.
It'll be also be inspiring. And I know that you will get results. I am positive. You're positive. And it's nothing like doing things with other people and having, like she said, the accountability part. I think it's great that you assign accountability partners and all that. So I think that sounds like a really great program. Well, I think that's it for me.
Oh my God.
We're going to have you on again. Look, maybe I can have the dynamic duo, you and Stephanie, on at the same time. Look.
That will be good. That's my girl. I mean, I love her so much. And you know, it's funny because even as a trainer, I think that in order for you to want to continue to grow and go to the next level, that you still have to sow into other people's platforms. So even though I have my own training, I'm still a part of hers, and I still get things from Joseph Lopez. I mean, both of them have been really good mentors for me.
I'm so glad that you said that. Guys, it doesn't matter what level you're on. I don't care if you are the best trainer in whatever. There's always someone on another level.
Yes.
But if we're consistently desiring to be better and to get better, then coaches need coaches. I always say that. Right. Coaches need coaches, need trainers. I mean, there are great actors in the world that still will go to acting.
Exactly.
So look, it doesn't matter where you are in your progress. And I think it also helps too, because sometimes we can get stagnant in our own thing. So it helps even have some exposure to what someone else is doing to help inspire us to do different things too.
Yep.
Well, another conversation. But thank you so much, Shaun, for being here.
Welcome.
I love you. Oh my gosh.
You have really blessed me today, Jocelyn. So again, you could have asked anybody. And so the fact that you asked me was huge. I appreciate it. I miss you. I can't believe, we've been friends for years. I will ask God to continue to bless your platform as long as you are doing what you're doing, because you're still trying to connect and help people as well. So God bless you. I love you. And thank you again for having me on tonight.
I love you. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody, thank you for watching this. Please share this with someone that you know. Look at it again. There were some great points. I pray that this has been a blessing for you. And that's a wrap. This is your girl. Okay, it's a wrap. It's your girl Jocelyn and your girl Shaun. Yes. And we just say peace unto you. Peace. Yes. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.